Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. We've now got the Pack 7 release of the Mitsubishi A6M Zero Fighter from Agora Models. Now we've done quite a bit of this model so far. I'm just going to show you where we're up to. Look, we've done the wings in the last stage. We mounted the cockpit and we even managed to just start doing the tail section of the plane here. Got the rear wheel and we are going to be working on the rudder today and a hell of a lot of servos. There's going to be a lot of electric testing today, and to do that we do need some parts from other stages. So I'm going to talk you through this straight away and then we can test the servo that we had in the last pack. So if you have that to hand, we'll get started now. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So if you remember at the last stage, we were working on the rear section of the plane with the tail section. We were going to be putting the servo motors in. Now they gave us a servo motor just like this and this little plastic adapter for it here in the last pack. We had to put that to one side. We're actually going to be testing that now. So what we need is the test board, and this is the battery box that they gave us, and this is the test board here. And then in this port just here, this is the most important thing here, this port here, we need to actually go to stage 59. Open stage 59 pack and fish out this lead looking like that. It's got a female plug on one end and a male plug on the other end. What we're going to do is the male side of that plug here, we're just going to plug into the socket on this side here. So I'll put that in. And there we go. That's in like that. This is going to enable us to test the servo. So the servo from the last stage here, we've got there. I'm going to put this in just like that. And then what we want to do is we want to center this servo. Now to center the servo is going to calibrate this up. So on the control board here, we're going to be pressing this button here to the left. Make sure your battery box is on. That helps. You'll get a red light on your servo board. Press the button on the left and you'll hear it move. As you can see, now that is centered. Now we've got that centered, we want to take this little tab section just like this and make sure it's this way round. So it's pointing directionally down from that section there. That's what it should look like from the side. And that's what it should look like from that side. Now to ensure this is working, we're going to be pressing the other button now and it should activate the servo so it goes backwards and forwards. Are you ready for this? Here we go. There we go. And that's confirmed that servo is working. Excellent. So I can take that off now, turn my battery box off. That's how easy it is to test the servo. What we're going to do now is we're going to mount this in this section just here. Now this is actually just going to go into this port here. So we're going to put that in like this. And then screw it down with two of the tiny silver screws that we had from the last pack. That's one. And this one is two. And then that's going to take care of the servo from pack 6. And as you can see, that's now fully installed. I could put that to one side because that's going to lead us to stage 54. So I'm going to open this up. And it's exactly pretty much what we've just done there. We've got the screws here, we've got that little tab, and we're going to be testing another servo. So once again, I'll bring that over, make sure we're on. We are on. Actually, just turn it off while I plug this in. Plug that in. There we go. Turn it on. Then once again, press the left button to center it. Just like that. Get the little tab here, and once again, we're going to put that down and push it on so that it is directionally straight down on that section there. And then when I push the right button, once again you can see the servo working. Excellent. So what I'll do now, turn that off again, unplug that, and once again we're going to be mounting this to this frame here. This is actually going to be going onto this section, but we don't actually do that in this stage. So keep the servo motor and the screws that come with it completely safe. So in stage 55, we've got this absolutely ginormous frame for the plane here. It's made of metal. It's really big. Let me get this out. And that looks just like that. Pretty impressive, isn't it? There you go. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take this tail section of the plane here. This is the tail gear unit. And that's going to be going on the end of this section just here. Now, as you can see, we've got 2 holes just there. That's going to go underneath this section, so it fits on the other side like that. That's going to be held in place with 2 screws, and they're the flange screws that come in this pack. Now, you do get 6 flange screws in each pack, so you would be wondering, what ones do I use? You actually use the ones where the thread is spaced out more, just like that. The other one's got quite a tight thread. So these are the ones that I'm going to use, and I'll put 2 of these in here. Now they're going into plastic. They should go in, no problems at all. There we go, that's 1. And there we go, that's number 2. And we now got the tail gear in, looking pretty good on the plane. Again, we can put that just to one side for a minute, because we're going to be attaching the servo that we just tested from the last stage into this module. So it's going to be going into this slot just here. So when we put this in, it's going to be going this way in, and it's going to slot into that section. You have to manipulate it round because you've obviously got that little tab that we put on. So when that's in, it's going to fit very flush like that. Now we don't need to secure that in, because when we secure this to the side of the frame that we've just been doing, that's actually going to keep that in for us. So this is going to go to the left side of the fuselage frame here. It's going to go on this side over here. So I'm going to put this into place. I'll show you where it goes. If you line up this end here with this hole just on this side, the rest of everything should line up perfectly in there. You have got the little tab, remember, from there, but there we go, that's fit perfectly flat. So that's what it's going to look like on this side, and that's what it's going to look like on this side. Now we're going to be putting that in once again with the 5202 flange screws, which were the ones with the threads that are spaced out. So I've got 1 in the top here, the second one just in the middle, and then finally the last one just at this end down here. And with that in place, looking like that from that side and that from that side, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 56, we've got some frame components here to put on. So now we're going to be taking this section just here. Now, if this is the side of the frame which has got this section on this side, we want to make sure that this is on the opposite side to that. So we're going to be putting that on this side over here. It actually goes on this side over here, and it's this way round. So when we put it on, this round section here is going to be into that curved section there. So I'll put this into place, and you'll see it fits perfectly flush there. We turn it round, and we've got some flange screws in this pack to put on, which look just like that. We're going to hold that in with quite a few. I think it's 5 that we're going to be putting in here. So when that's in, it should look like that. So then on this other side here, we've got this section like that. It looks like that. We want to put this on this way round, lining up the holes to keep that in place so that fits in like that. And once again, we're going to be putting 3 screws this time in 1, 2, and 3 over this side. There we go. As you can see, that's all 3 of those screws in, and that's what that looks like from this side. Now to mirror what we've got on this side with the tab at the top, we've got its sister here on the other side. That's just going to go over the lugs here, so it gives that sort of effect on top. Once again, we've got 2 screws just to put on this side here. Once again, they're put in with the flange screws that we've got in this pack. Put 1 in, it takes 2 this time. And there's the second one. Now this is the power supply cord. This is what we're going to need next. So this is going to be going into the round section that we put in originally, just down this side here. Now what we want to do is put the wires through the left side of the fuselage here, so that this then can sit just at the top of this. Once I've got it in, I'll show you what that looks like. There you go. So it sits just comfortably in there like that. Now we need to hold this into place. So we have got a brace to put over the other side. That looks just like that. That's just going to go over the top here. That's going to keep that in. Once again, we've got 2 screws to put in here. This time, these are screws that look like that, which come in this pack. As you can see, that's still able to rotate around in there, but that's going to keep that into place. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 57 here, we've got another motor to put in. Now this time in this pack here, we've got a little cog, which is going to go onto the cross section on top of the motor, just like that. So push that into place. Bring over the frame again. And having it this way round, this motor is going to go into the slot just here. Lining it up like that. Push that into position. And then that's going to be held in with 2 screws that come in this pack. These are these tiny silver ones here, like that. One this side. And one on the other side. Loads of motors. I told you this at the start. We've got motors and electrics all over the place. Now we do have some frames in this one that you can see, but again, just keep that to one side, noting what pack that is, because just putting that motor in, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 58, we have got another servo motor here. So we're going to do exactly like we've done previously. We're going to quickly test this motor. So I will just go through that stage just one more time. We do have a little clip to put on this as well afterwards. So once again, what we do, bring over the test board, plug the servo into the female end of the adapter that we put in right at the start, just like that. We turn this on, we press the left button to center it, get your tab, and just like last time, we're going to be putting this way round. So it's going directly down, so that when we press the other side, as you can see, once again, the servo's working perfectly. So bringing this servo round here, this is just going to be going into this side over here, and that's going to be held in with 2 of the 5804 screws. They look just like this. One in that side, and one in the other side. There we go, that's another servo in. So basically we've got 1 servo here, 1 here, 1 here. That's 3 servos and another motor there. Altogether, I think that's 4 motors and a power supply, which are in at the moment. Now, when we put this in and we centered it up, we do want to keep this held into place, this one. We have got a screw, which looks just like that. And that's just going to go through the center here to hold that into position. Just like that. I'm not sure if we have to do that for all the other ones, but I've got the screws spared over. They look like this. So all the other tabs that I had, I am just going to make sure that I have got a screw in here just to ensure they're all held into place. That's just the 3 servos we've got there. But that is all there is to do in that stage. Now stage 59, your pack should already be open because you got that lead out of this pack. So I'm going to get all the rest of the stuff out of this. And this is the section that we're going to be working on first. And we're going to actually start assembling the elevator. Which, if you remember when we fitted the ailerons, I have a problem with that word, last time, we had these little sort of like metal hook things here, which I'm going to be using again now. They're going to be going into these slots here. So I'll have one, hopefully you can see this on the close-up camera, just in here like that. And then the second one, its partner just going on to the end over here. So they're in place. We're going to hold that down with this frame here. We've got 2 different size lugs here, so they're going to just match the holes this side. So line it up. Put this over the top. That's going to keep them held in place so they're not going to come out. And we do want to secure that in with the 2 holes on this side here with some 5903 screws. Now these come in this pack. They're the ones with a flat head and they're the shorter ones. So one in this side, like that, and then one on the other side. Excellent. Now left over in this bag, I've got a shaft here, which looks like that. That's just going to go through these 2 sections here. So again, one in this side. And I'll feed that through to the one in the other side as well. It's going to want to fall out at the moment, but you get the idea of how that's going in like that. And then we're going to fit that into the channel that we can see at this side of the trim here. So this is going to go in, being very gentle here, like that. Excellent. And we've got a little bit of trim here just to put into that section just there. So that's going to go on like that. I'm going to have to sort of lie this down now, so I'm going to be very gentle with this now. So there we go, that goes in there. Make sure it is lined up. Very fiddly. Then on the other side of this, before we close it up, we've got a bearing to put in. That just goes over the end here. The bearing does go over both of these tabs, so just keep turning that until that goes all the way flush to that section. And then we're going to want to glue all of this together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dab some glue just into these holes, not too much, because this is like you've got one time to get this right. Okay, I'm going to line it up, and when we put this on, it's going to obviously follow the shape there, and this bearing is going to go into the cradle that you can see there. So put that in, line that up with the bearing. That was scary. I'm just holding that together. It's in, as you can see, and we've got all the flaps in like that. I'm just letting the groove set, and obviously it's flush all the way around. So there you go, that's in place. That was very tricky. Take your time on that one. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So we've got lots of parts left around from previous stages in this pack. Stage 60, we're going to do the rudder assembly. So this time we're going to take this part of the rudder. And we've also got this frame part. That's just going to go inside this section here. So this is going to sit on this section just like that. In a similar fashion to what we did last time, we're actually going to be making those little frame sections again. So I've got them here. We're just going to thread these onto this metal shaft, one there and one on the other side, making sure that they are facing the same way. And this is going to go into the channel here, and then the frame section is going to be fitting over this section here. So what I'll do is I'll line this up so you get an idea of how this is going to look. There we go. So that's in. That was quite fiddly. And then this section that looks like that is actually going to pin together to hold all of this together. So I'm going to be lining this up. You might find it easier to do it the way I'm doing it, where you basically put the shaft in after you've pinned this in like this. Then we thread this section just through the hole at the bottom. And then just line up the rest of this on top. There we go. That locks that in. That's quite an easier way to do it. Hopefully that helps you. Now through these 2 holes here, we've got 2 screws to put in. They are 60012, and they're the ones with the flat heads. Small silver screws with flat heads. I'll show you what that looks like. Just like that. That's going to go to either side of here to pinch that together. Just like last time, we've got a little bit of a trim panel to put in here. If I just turn this around, this is just going to go into this point just here, making sure it's the right way up, like that. And this is one of those hold your breath moments again, because I'm going to put some glue just into these points here on the other side of the rudder. Not too much, but it's going to keep this whole thing in place. So I'm going to hold my breath. Hopefully we can get all of these together in one go. Almost. Get this end in here. Did you hear that click? Oh, that's perfect. So there we go. So that's in, no problems at all. And then this side is free to move as well. I'm just going to hold that for a little while, let that glue set. We've got a D-shaped cross section here. We're going to be aligning that with that section just there. So this is going to go on the end. As I said, it's shaped so it can only fit on one way. That goes on like that. So now when the rudder moves, as you can see, that can move as well. This pack's got everything, hasn't it? Look, we're working on some electrics now. We're going to be putting some electrics just into this section here on the rudder. So basically the LED is going to go into the end, but then we want to pass the cables out down the bottom here, like that. We have got another side just to put over the top of that to keep that LED into place. I'm putting that there, checking how that looks. So that's got in perfectly, and we want the wire on the left side here. We're going to be securing this together with 2 screws. And again, these are the tiny silver ones that we just used. Need 2 of them. One in this side and one in the other side. So as you can see, the lead is actually coming out of the bottom of that. Perfect. And then we're going to be mounting this is going to be fun, to the frame. So I'll bring the frame over. This is going to be going on this side here. So if we've got it this way round, probably best on the top camera. This is going to go over here like this, making sure that the bottom bearing is into the bottom section there as well. And then that's going to be secured in with 2 of the flange screws that come in this stage. So one here. Excellent. And one just on the other side. Just really putting in my power supply. Here it seems to have fallen out. I didn't have that screwed in properly. So there you go, that's back in. Now we're going to start putting these linkages together. So the first bit of linkage we've got is just on this section here. This is the left side of the frame, and we've got this linkage cable. Now we've got a couple of these little linkages here. We want the shorter one out the 2. So the shorter one here, we're going to be putting at the back, the rudder section here, and we're going to approach it from this little tiny section here up to the top, like that. And the other side is just going to go into, get this in, hang on a second, the linkage just in the middle here. Like that. Ensure that that's straight and it goes underneath that section. So that's the first bit of linkage in. Now remember, I put that screw in before. It's actually telling us to do it now. so I was right to put that in, but I was just a little bit too early. So if you haven't put that screw in, you want to do that now. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So we do have quite a few brackets and frames and stuff left over on this stage. So you are going to want to keep them safe. But I'm just going to get everything out of stage 61. The reason I'm saying that now is because this is the last part of this pack. I've got no idea what's in here. Let's have a look at this. Oh, look at that. Looks like it's going to be part of the base. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Oh, excellent. Put that to one side though, because we've got some electrics here, which are basically limiting switches that we're going to be putting in. So this one here, just so you know, is going to connect into the one next to it here. Push that cable in, make sure it's in all the way. Push that all the way in, excellent. Then we're going to start mounting this to this frame. So this is just going to sit in here like that. So these are going to be held in with these flat-headed tiny screws here. So I'll get this one in first. It's 1 and 2, and then we do the same for the other switch. And 4, so they look just like that when they're in. Now we're going to be working on this lovely MDF board here. I do like this because we're going to be putting a bracket into one side. This is what the bracket looks like. So we're going to be putting that just over that section there. That's going to be secured in with one of the massive screws that we've got in this pack, looking like that. Just into the top here. I'm going to line this up with the edge. So one in this side and one in the other side. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So I'm just going to show you what we've got left over, just so you know. So we've done the rudder section here. We've obviously got the base here. We've still got 2 linkage mechanisms that are going into place. We do have quite a few screws left as well. And we do have this bracket looking like that. This bracket looking like that. And then finally this tiny bracket looking like that. And then we do have the limiting switches as well, like that. But that is all there is to do in that stage, and that is all there is to do in that pack. Now, it is making reference to something for us, that if you've had a problem with the screws that drive this one in here, there is a replacement for the screws in this pack, so you can replace these out if that's loose. As you can see, mine's not loose at all. Mine went in absolutely perfect, so I won't be using that. But that is detailed in the instructions should you be having that problem. I really enjoyed that. That was for the Zero Fighter. That was quite an easy pack, actually. I really enjoyed that. I do like working with electrics, though, and watching things come together. I mean, I do like showing you on this head cam just how big some things are, but that is what that's looking like. Now, eventually, when we start mounting the wing section, which we did previously, haven't got a clue how this mounts, but these are kind of going to go together. As a matter of fact, I can probably take a wild guess at how this is going to go, because we have got some things down here. I'm guessing something like that. We'll have to figure it out. I don't know. I've taken a wild guess, but lots of electrics, but we do have lots of parts that we are going to need to keep safe for pack 8. But I'm not sure when that's coming. Now, if you want to get this all the way from stage 1, I'll put the link down here to the Agora Models website. You can get the Zero Fighter from pack 1. Over there, let's see if I can do this today. You've also got the Super Snake, the Cobra, the Leopard Tank, the Terminator, the Bismarck, the New York Fire Truck, the Jaguar E-Type. There's 2 more. Help me out. What have I missed out? Leopard Tank. There's 1 more. Go over there and check it out. You'll be able to see for yourself. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.